Welcome to a very special episode of Redesigning Your Relationships Live. I'm your host, Giovanna Burgess White, with my co-host.
I am angel number 111, Yvette Valdenegro.
Welcome. We are celebrating episode 111. Most people celebrate 50, 100, 75. We're like, nope, 111. And today it's 44. So I'm like, all these beautiful numbers in our life. And what do they mean? What are angel numbers? All those things we're going to talk about today. Yvette and I love them. For those of you who know us, it's on everything from our pricing to this episode today. So if this is the first time you're watching, welcome. We typically go live every Wednesday, but at this point we're going to start saying we just go live every week because we've been changing it up. For Women's Month, we went live Fridays. Today, because it was 4/4, it was a special meeting. Which is also, this is the year of 8, the number 8. So I'm just throwing it out there. 4 + 4. It's just so many,
Are you serious?
100% serious. So,
because I know someone who's born on 0808, and this is a year of 8. Interesting. All right.
So today we're going to just blow your mind with 111. And I have a great resource on just learning the basics, because there's so much you can get into with the angel numbers, and we'll put the website up later on today. It's current, it's simple, it's easy. So if you want to learn more, we give you information for that. But like I said, we go live every week. We have so many exciting things in April. It is my birthday month, so I'm super excited to celebrate that with you guys as well. And today we're just going to jump into 111. What does that mean? And if you have questions, the great thing about what we do, we're live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and we now have video podcasting exclusively on Spotify. So even if you're watching later, we go back and we check, we respond. There's a Q&A feature in Spotify that we would love for you to use. And then always feel free to reach out to us. If there's any topics that you want to hear about, listen to, watch, we will bring that to you. So today, our reflections on and your revelations on what the number 111 means. Look,
Okay.
I'm wearing my angel earrings. If you can't see them all.
Love that.
Perfect.
Love it. Okay. And I think this is a really fun one if you are a person who pays attention to angel numbers, tell us in the comments which are your favorite and why, or any insights that you've had into things. We want to know, because this is really fun. I mean, it's crazy how when we mention it, you have some people that are like, no, don't get into that. Or the people who you would never think are like, oh my gosh, I'm always paying attention to numbers. And once you start, I don't know, once you just open your mind to just notice, just when you see them, you'll start to be more aware of the numbers that you actually see.
Yep.
It's like, just ask, just go, you know what? I really never pay attention. Let me just see. And it's going to start coming to you.
And the other thing, if you're watching this episode and you've never heard of angel numbers, now you're going to be like, I'm seeing them all the time. So,
okay. One thing too, which kind of confusing to me. We've been doing podcasting for 4 years now, 5?
5 years.
5 years. Okay. Obviously the titles have changed, but when I thought I was like, it's not really our 111th episode, because we literally do one a week. And when I did the math, I'm like, that does not equate. And neither does how we do the seasons. Nothing equates, but I just love the fact that it's 111.
It's 111 based on the seasons of Redesigning Your Relationship podcast. How about that? Because we've had previous podcasts, like Just Engage University, and what was the other one? Oh, yeah, we had a few more, but from this podcast, it's the 111th. So,
all right.
I wanted to kind of go into the overall meaning first before we get into love, career, and prosperity. So real quick, I'm just going to do the overview of what is, excuse me, the meaning of the number 111. And it's tied, this is what I love, to self-confidence, determination, decision-making, which this is going to blow your mind based on what's happening in our lives. Similar 111 numerology is related to new opportunities coming into your life. So what does it mean when you're seeing it? Seeing this angel number could possibly indicate that exciting prospects are headed your way, and probably sooner than you think. The universe is giving you the ability to choose how your future goes by providing these options, along with you to the self-confidence to make the decisions that you feel right to. Not to mention resilience and passion to accept whatever positive or negative outcomes result from those decisions. Okay. I hope you're listening to this. I'm talking to all of you. Okay. Because this is going to hit hard. Ultimately, you'll know the right decision by trusting your gut, but you may be doubting yourself. Have faith that the angel number is coming into your life has meaning. So stop hesitating. Okay. Read that again a few times because there's different meanings in the different topics we're going to talk about, but that's like the overall meaning, and that's huge. So right now, if you're listening, watching, and there's something big happening, and again, I love how it's like talking about the positive and the negative. You got to let it be, okay? And trust your gut. Don't do the things for everybody else. Don't do the things as you think that's what it's supposed to be. Do what you feel is right.
Okay, time out. One
Okay.
thing, two things that stuck out to me. One, that's when I went,
I know.
choose.
Mhm.
You get to choose. So again, when we're going about life and things happen to us and we get again, this is more like intuition, you get a choice. You get to say to yourself, is this one way or the other? The universe isn't forcing you. Nobody's forcing you. That's what makes us as human beings so amazing is we get to choose what we say, how we respond, and now angel numbers. Second thing, the gut, that intuition, that something. Sometimes when people say that, they're like, how do I really know? How do I really know that this is first of all, we're not saying you're going to turn into God, and we're not saying that this is magical powers, because one, you have that choice. Two, you have to listen. And then three, there's usually an action that comes after it. It just doesn't all of a sudden that little angels come out of the sky. There's a progression, which we're going to talk about, but it's the first part of it is you have to choose to be open to just receive whatever it is that's coming your way.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to hit you with one more real quick. So what does it mean in spirituality before we go into relationships?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the numerology, the spiritual meaning of 111 is related to taking steps to nurture the relationship you have with your intuition, or some call it your inner self or higher self. Your inner self is the guiding voice that helps you make decisions, and your higher self is the one that helps you achieve your life's spiritual purpose. The 111 spiritual meaning is meant to remind you you are not alone in sculpting your future. Your guardian angels are sending you a message that even though you are not capable of making the correct decisions to reach your higher self, you don't have to do it by yourself. They will be there every step of the way and remind you of the strength when you falter. So again, it's crazy that we're starting with 111 and we're not going to do all the numbers. I would love to maybe like we'll put that in like a season where we can just digest the angel numbers, but it's the beginning of how the others work. And today we started with that. We could have started with 444, we could have started with 1111. We started with that because this is kind of like the ripple effect in the relationship. So since we're self, time, and money, we love to coach on that. We decided to make this episode around that, but there's so much meaning behind it that I wanted to kind of give the overview because it's pretty big.
Okay. I feel like I could do a whole podcast on this, just one little thing, but I'm just going to say this one little statement for anybody out there that's like, I don't know. I feel like they don't feel comfortable maybe going down this avenue because maybe it goes against any of their personal beliefs. And I just want to say a couple things because you said the inner person and your higher self. If you are specifically a believer in God and that that spirit is living inside of you, that's the inner voice that we're talking about. You're co-creating with that inner voice. So this isn't like a weird woo-woo or oh my gosh, this is not in alignment. If anything, that alignment is still the same thing. We're just giving it different terms. And when it comes to the intuition, it's no different than when someone says, I wish that God would just speak to me. He is speaking to you. Quiet yourself, and that inner voice that you're listening to, that is God. He's not going to come with this loud voice. He's using your voice to speak to you. And I'll give a really kind of crazy, but very practical, because I myself have been really working on this, like really listening to my inner connection and my inner voice. Yesterday, before I was getting ready, I went to go put on an earring. And I was literally over my sink, which is like, don't do this 101. It was a tiny, tiny little earring. It was something that my mom had given me, something in my head. And you know how like your thoughts are so fast that sometimes you don't have a time to react or whatever. It was so fast. Like, don't do that. It's going to fall. Don't do it. It's going to fall. And I literally jumped back from the sink and I went, okay, I'm going to listen to myself, my inner voice. I was fine. I went to go put on the earring. Do you know it fell down and fell on the ground?
See, but it would have fallen in the sink. So
It literally would have fallen in the sink. But I said to again, I had a choice.
Yep.
I listened to my intuition. I had the action. I stepped back. Crazy enough, the same thing still happened, but I saved the earring.
I love it. We're going to move on because I'm like, it's lengthy, even though it's not lengthy, because there's so much we can do. I am going to just talk about it in love in general, because again, love can be many different things. I love the generality. And then I want you to go through prosperity and finance and prosperity, because I think that's super important as well. But this is kind of like an overall where you are in love. And when I read this, people are like, oh yes. So 111 angel number is love and is related to self-love. So it's why it hits so hard. It might sound like a cliche, but it's true. You must love yourself before you can offer real love in a relationship with someone else. Another truth is that emotions aren't constant. There will be days when you feel less inclined to love yourself, or you will feel you aren't even deserving of it. But knowing that the meaning of 111 in love pertains to self-confidence, that should help you in finding and holding on to acceptance, at least most of the time. So again, we can go into it with different aspects of relationships, but again, self is so important. It starts there. And then and I just love that, again, it starts with you before you can give somewhere else. And most of us are always giving, 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 and working on these other relationships, when it's like, stop. You got to do you first. Do you want to take career and prosperity?
Yeah, I just had to laugh. Did you see what just happened to me?
Did you spill something?
I literally just, it's all over. I'm like, I don't know. Okay, I'm just going to do this because I don't know what it looks like.
Because you're in tiny mode, so you're good.
Okay, good. Okay, in your career, again, taking inspired action and stay focused on your goals. And I think there's just three things. But one, pursue if you see the 111, it may be, and again, your choice, the universe telling you to pursue something new in your professional projects or education, which is very specific. I thought it's not like just anything. It was like, no, in your personal projects, education. Express and declare your goals, as in maybe that's sharing to a friend, maybe it's writing it down, putting in a journal, affirmations, telling yourself whatever it is, but put it out there, declare it, that's where you want to do. Okay, and 3, be a leader in your chosen field. I remember someone a long time ago told me one of the greatest ways to grow without having to put money down and like going to a class is just be a leader. Because by being a leader, you stand out, you actually take on more responsibilities. And as you're doing that, the people around you start to go, you know what, look at that person. Like, this is the person we want to hire. This is the person we want to give the next project to. This is the person we're going to give a raise to. Make yourself valuable is basically what that says.
I love that. And again, back to all focusing on you, not somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Right, here we go in prosperity.
All right. So again, if you see the 111 numbers, and again, this isn't like, oh, I saw the 11 number a month ago and no, I feel like it's when it happens, because your mind is thinking about something. And then it's like, this is a sign or intuition or someone just confirming what you're already thinking in that moment, not something like, oh, I'm going to connect it to something I wanted a month ago. That's not how it works. Okay. So basically you're unlocking your abundance to invest in yourself. Number 1, acknowledge that you are ready to receive an abundance. If you've got a closed heart, it's not going to come. You've got to be ready for it. You got to be ready for that prosperity. Okay. 2, visualize your abundance. In that moment, I love this. In that moment that you see when you're just walking by and all of a sudden like, oh my gosh, 111. And I was just thinking about how I wish I had blah, 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 blah. And I had went to prosperity. Pause and just visualize it. Visualize it takes 10 seconds. Just visualize the very thing that you're wanting and keep going. 3, practice gratitude. we always say this, but this is probably one of the best things you can do first thing in the morning at any time. But again, if you are really seeking something in your life and you see this, then after you are, you visualize it, say, thank you. Thank you that I'm going to expect this, and thank you that this is happening in my life. 4, again, take action towards your goal. We are not saying that all of a sudden you're going to hit the lottery. We're not saying all of a sudden your bank account is going to have $1 million. You still have to take action with the vision that you have, the gratitude in your heart, and then put some action towards it.
And again, everything that we're talking about has to do with only one person, you. And I want to say practice self-gratitude. And this, like, everything's like about self. So moving into, now what? What do I do? I'm seeing it. I'm learning about it. I'm believing in it. So now what do I do? 111 is the universe telling you that you got to have faith in yourself, but you really do. Trust yourself in the universe, knowing that that you are supported on your path. Again, this is like it could be woo woo for people. It's really not. It's like, no matter what your beliefs are, you're not alone, right? And it's energy, it's manifestation, it's the words that were at the beginning slide, which we'll bring back. It's just all, it's like around us, and we just need to be ready to receive. If you're closed off, and it's not going to happen, you're like, what is Gio and Yvette talking about? But when you start to just open up and just be, you're going to start to see the signs.
Okay, because you just said it's not woo woo. You could interchange the word universe for God, and there's a scripture that says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, right? Same thing. Trust in him, trust in the universe, trust in yourself. He is supporting your path.
Yep.
There's no difference. All right. You want me to read this?
Yeah, because my glasses, I don't have them on.
I don't know if my glasses are going to help me. I'll do this. Angel number 111 is like a cosmic wink from the universe, urging us to sprinkle a little extra sparkle into our lives. In relationships, it's all about sharing laughter and love notes, embracing the joy of being each other's biggest cheerleaders. Career-wise, it's like you care to kick off those little killer heels and dance fearlessly into new opportunities, fueled by passion and purpose. And when it all comes to prosperity, think of it as your personal permission slip to embrace the abundance of dessert before dinner, because life's too short not to savor every sweet moment.
Beautifully said. Well, I hope that this helps you with angel numbers. Like I said, I was going to give you a up-to-date, go to parade.com. You can literally put meaning of angel numbers. It'll give you the brief descriptions of each one. And people ask this all the time. Are angel numbers only like sequential numbers? And that's a fantastic question. No, that's like numerology. So like some people see 1, 2, 3, 4 a lot, right? 10, 10. The article that I'm sending you guys are the ones like 111 through 1111. But if there's a number that you're seeing, again, it could be fun for some people that have never done this. Just go. Like 1010 was something that I was seeing a lot of. And where do you see that? Really anywhere. Addresses, it can be time, it can just be like you're reading something. You really never know where they come from, but just go and research the meaning and start writing it in a journal, because you're going to start to see a lot of similarities. And if you are really into this and you love numerology and you love the angel numbers, we would love to hear from both sides of it. So make sure that you're commenting, you're sharing. I know that some people came on and off while we were live. We do answer in the replay. We just want to know what you think your angel numbers are. And I am going to do a plug, even though they're not our sponsors, but you know me, I love women supporting women. We have a member, Maria. She is in Cyprus, and they have a shop called 111 Manifest, and they have everything on the angel numbers, posters, books. They're all about self-affirmation. She has a podcast in Spanish too, which is fantastic, all about self-affirmation and self-love. But I saw that because it's 111 Manifest, and they just had their 1-year anniversary too. So I will put them in the show notes so that you can visit them. They have an amazing Instagram. Actually, that's a great, just learning about self-love, manifesting angel numbers. So I'll plug that in as well, because we always love supporting local. So Maria and the girls and her 3 daughters, I hope that you guys are watching. And if not, we'll make sure we'll tag you in this. Anything else I missed?
Our sponsor.
Oh, yes, we are our sponsor. If you are watching live and you have been following us and you saw our post from last night, we started phase 1 of the YGC Collective. That is our conference on August 19th, which is VIP night, and August 20th, which is a 10 to 3 day pass. The tickets are now on sale. I know you've been asking. We had our leaders luncheon yesterday. Our amazing round of first sponsors and speakers. We got to eat with them, connect, like really just time to connect each other because a lot of people don't know each other. Do a tour of our beautiful venue, which is the Real Luxury Cinemas in the Woodlands, Texas, plus the Audrey restaurant. And just really bring our vision to life. So we will have all the information for that conference. It is for any woman, any season of life. We have 10 auditoriums. I'm sorry, 10 speakers, 5 auditoriums, and we're going to have 10 different topics. So you'll be able to pick 3 that day. If you know us, we're going to have our interactive experiences, amazing swag, and we have a speaker and sponsor connection area. So you actually get to meet these women, talk to these women. And if you want to elevate your experience, get your VIP ticket. Oh,
That was
my
it. That was the angel calling.
but those are angel calling, my beautiful baby angel calling. So yes, all that information will be in the show notes. Make sure you get your tickets. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We're here to help you. So yes, thank you.
And if all of that sounded like what,
Yeah.
just go to the YGC collaborations.com and go to the collective tab, and everything Gio just said super fast is written down so you can clearly go through everything and see the 3 options that you have.
Okay. That's it. We'll be back next week. Again, have an amazing rest of your day. And if you're watching the replay, please let us know what your angel numbers are. We will talk next week. Bye.
Bye.